Greetings from Southern Yankee Homestead. I'm Paul, and this is our homestead. Well, I said in the last video we're going to be getting into maintenance, and we are, but I had a phone call after I closed out that video, and I got a mowing job I got to do for brush hogging. You haven't seen it yet. Hun's working on the video, but I rebuilt the trailer, our 18-footer, a month or two ago, and I didn't build any ramps. Well, I got by for the meantime, but I need to build some ramps to make it easier to get into the trailer. On top of that, our burn barrel that we have is completely rusted out, so I need to replace that. On top of that, we got the Samurai project coming up soon, hopefully, and I need to do some cutting on that. Well, instead of using a Sawzall or other cutting tools, went ahead and bought a plasma cutter. So this is a Best Arc VTC 500 DP 9th generation. I just opened the top. I actually haven't pulled anything out yet because I wanted to find out what plug it used. I wanted to find out what plug it uses because we have a 50 amp outlet here in the garage. Well, this is using a 30 amp. So a quick trip to Walmart, I made sure we had an adapter so that we can actually plug it in. And this adapter is not going to work. Well, crap. This adapter has slanted points on it. This one is straight. I guess we could run it off 115 for the meantime. So according to this, air pressure should be 30 to 40 psi for 530 seconds. Whoops, until we start hearing air come out of it. Am I turning it down or up? Push to lock. This is down. Okay. Yeah, I'm with 530 seconds because it's the lowest setting. A little too fast. I don't think I'm going to be freehanding circles anytime soon. So out with the old. Guess I need to get a shovel. I have used a plasma cutter before. It was a older Hobart. It was one of the first self-contained ones. I spent like $800 on it. Basically, you plugged it into the wall and it was a plasma cutter. Well, had it about 4 years and the main board went on it. I could have got it fixed, but the problem is the whole unit was $800. The main board was $750, plus diagnostic charges. So it ended up going in the scrap bin. I haven't had a plasma cutter since. And realistically, it was a 115 plasma cutter. It didn't do too good. It was absolutely horrible for severing any kind of metal, let alone stuff like that. So I think we need to put this thing to a little bit more of a challenge, because I need some ramps. For reference, this is half of the original tailgate that was on the trailer. Well, we're going to try to put her on a diet. So I thought about it. I'm going to start with the angle grinder, because there's a lot of little welds all down through here that I think is going to take way too much time with that. So we'll go ahead and grind off most of those and try to get this expanded metal off before we try to cut this thing. At least that's the theory. So before we get into the maintenance on the Daihatsu, I want to give it some time to dry. Well, I've got another side project to do in the meantime. Yep, we're going to do some work on the Kubota. So if you see here on the third function valve, I have a gauge. So this is a gauge I picked up off Amazon. This is JailbreakMyTractor.com, I guess. But I just took and tested the pressure, and yep, I'm in the L3901, so I'm about 100 psi low. This kit also comes with shims, literally little shims. We got a 4, a 2, and a 1. Alright, so you get 39 psi of pressure by every 0.1 millimeter shim. So I basically need 100, so I'd need 3 millimeter or point. So 39 and 39 is 78, and 39 would be 117. So yeah, I need 3.3 millimeters to bring it up 100 psi. Let's see what the torque on these actually are. Alright, basically took the weight off it, enough so the tire's not bulging. I'm trying to hoist this tire around. Now for the fun part. Yeah, didn't help. I'm still ugly. Anyhow, sorry for the noise. It's slightly windy today. We are changing course a little bit. I want to get to the tractor and maybe do some hunting, but as of right now, we got some maintenance to do. The weather changed last night, went from 70s, lower 70s, with upper 50s for the low to, well, significantly less than that. So our high today is lower than our low yesterday. But with that changeover of the weather, it was rather violent. Yep, that's our sign. It broke off. Let's see. Yeah, looks like termites got into it. Yeah, it's definitely termite damage. More than rot. So, well, that experiment lasted a couple of years. We'll fix it. That's not the extent of, or the full extent of the damage, though. So if you see, we're missing some roofing. Well, follow me here. It is down there, rolled up at the gate. Yeah, so we gotta replace some rolled roofing. Alright, let me go get cleaned up and then we can get back to the tractor. Alright, so what we're going for, we got to be careful with this one. I don't know how much hydraulic fluid we're going to lose. Theoretically a bit, but we're just going to roll with the punches. I got more hydraulic fluid I can add. In theory, that should be what we need. And now I've got the right socket for it as well. See if I got the right extension. I do. Alright, came out just like this. Let me take it over to the workbench so we can take it apart and take a look. Alright, nothing else in there. So this came out just like this. Well, we got all kinds of shims in there. It'd be good to measure them and see what we actually have, but since I don't have a battery, we're just going to go ahead and grab our actually our 0.1 millimeter and 0.2 millimeter. In theory, this will bring us up 120 in theory. There, let's go and reinstall it. Now, let's do something dangerous. Let's fire her up as she sits. So the gauge was just barely within the B2650 on that one. So we brought it up a little bit. Should have been 120 psi, but it's not quite. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take those two shims out, which is 3/10 of a millimeter, and I'm going to take the other shim, which is a 4/10, and put that one in its place. With that, I think we're good to put the tire back on. It was right at the top edge of the blue line. There's a little blue line in here. So let me get this turned so that if you look right there, you can see there's a blue line. I'm right at the top edge of that, so I'm a little bit higher, but I'm not outside what's listed for a B2650. We're going to go with it. So we're going to go ahead and put this away and then fight the tire. Side note, someone should really try that with one of these. Yeah, that's a full size, well, that's a subcompact tractor tire under this. That would be cool. Don't look at me to do it. I ain't got that kind of funding available. According to the book, the bolts are to be torqued to 145 to 166 foot-pounds, and the nuts are 123 to 141 foot-pounds. And because the internet likes to argue on things, there it is in writing. With the tractor out, we can finally get to the Daihatsu. Now, I got a bunch of parts over here. I don't know if I covered that before, like struts, timing belt, tensioner, plug wires, plugs, filters. I don't even have the oil and filters out here right now. I'll pull those out in a minute. But we're going to start, since we got to jack up the vehicle anyways, we're going to start with trying a trick I saw for the struts. So I don't have a strut spring compressor, and well, I don't want to run the risk of having one of those blow up, because, well, they're kind of, yeah, really hurt yourself. So we're going to see if this trick works. So before we jack the vehicle, we're going to try to release the tension. And why do I have a feeling this is going to be more difficult than I thought? Don't know if this is going to work. We're going to try it. Now the theory is, by doing that, you're basically compressing you're using the vehicle weight to compress the strut. Show you why we're replacing it in just a minute here. That actually worked out better than I thought. So let's get this off. And holy smokies. Alright, so we're going to pull that out. Oh, looks like we pulled an axle shaft out. Oops. Oh well. Yeah. So we're going to put that back on the bracket. You can see that in the light. This is weeping. Well, yeah, that strut should not be pushing in that easy. So, yeah. She was going bad. Oh, this will be nice. This one even has the bump stop still on it. I think I gotta pull that. Nope, we can slide this right through here. Alright, so after battling this for a little bit, I decided to change course. I did a little bit of work off screen. I couldn't get this to line back up, so I broke down and bought an actual coil spring compressor. Well, I technically rented it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to bring it back yet or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this whole thing out, this whole assembly, and put it together outside the vehicle before reinstalling it and see if that goes better. And this is our new tool. It's a McPherson strut compressor. which I hope works on this one, because this is a small. It's even at best, yeah, that still can't fit up through there. Alright, so that's not going to work.
You're coming over? Okay. Can't wait to see you, Lucky.
Now, where did I put the receipt? I knew the plasma cutter would come in handy, I just didn't think it'd be this quick. So what we have here is a piece of, oh God, I don't even know, let me get a tape measure. So we have a piece of approximately 3/8 inch steel here. What this steel actually is road plate. So you know when they dig a hole and they don't want a car to fall into it, but they want traffic to keep driving through, they put this big steel plate down and then put pavement up around the edges. Yeah, this is what this is. This is some pretty heavy stuff. We're going to try to use this to make a compression tool. In theory it should work. 2 inches short. Alright. Let me think about this for a bit. So that's been a complete bust. I did manage to get one together using zip ties, but I didn't like it. And I found out that there's different sides and I put the wrong strut in there, so I took it all back apart. It's not necessarily a failure, it just took me almost an entire day to do it, and it didn't work. So with the struts not changed, it is Sunday, and I'm going to be uploading this video so that I can do editing. So I apologize, I was hoping to have a little bit more done on this, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. I have ordered a strut compressor, a cheap one off Amazon. It's like $18. I'm hoping that the cheaper one has so little bit of metal on it that it can grab the spring and I don't have to compress it too much, just a little bit. So I'm hoping that'll work, but again, I gotta wait until that gets here so that we can go ahead and continue working on this. Next video should be a little bit of chores and we'll get into this. I'll probably do some other stuff as well on this. See if we can, you know, while I got it up, go ahead and get the oil changed and maybe change out the plug wires, plugs, see where we're at that point, because, well, I'm not going to have the parts to put the front suspension together until Tuesday. Or the tools. Won't have the tools till Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and you'll see us on the next video, I'm sure. Bye.